We're often told, aren't we, that menopause is actually an estrogen deficiency, and we then have to live the rest of our lives in estrogen deficiency, and we might well need medicating to correct that so that we don't end up with heart disease, osteoporosis or dementia or any other horrors as we move into old age. So is that really true? Because to me, that's never really sat well. And the way I see it is that women's lives go in three phases. So we start off in childhood in what used to be affectionately known as the maiden phase. Then we move through adolescence into the mother phase. So that's the time of life when we could potentially fall pregnant and have a baby. Whether or not that works out for us, that's kind of how nature's sorted us out. And then when that phase finishes, we move through perimenopause into menopause, and our reproductive years finish, and we can move into our crone years. So our crone years are traditionally when we would share the responsibility of raising a family and rebirth ourselves effectively with all our wisdom and life experience that we've gained over the years, and we repackage it and bring it out into the world in a whole new way. It's like a mini death and a rebirth, if you like. So our estrogen levels at those three phases need to be different because we're doing different things. We don't need high amounts of estrogen in our maiden phase because we're not having reproductive cycles, and we don't need to fall pregnant. Obviously that changes when we move into our mother phase because we've got reproductive cycles to regulate every month in the hope that we may fall pregnant and have a family. And so our estrogen levels, particularly one of the more potent forms of estrogen, which is estradiol, needs to be higher. But when we move through menopause into our crone phase, and we don't need to fall pregnant anymore, those levels can go back down again. At the same time, though, we are still producing decent amounts of less potent forms of estrogen, which do help to protect us and our health as we move into old age. So it's not that we're estrogen deficient, it's just we don't need such a high amount of estrogen anymore, and we don't need such a high amount of the more potent form anymore. So personally, I don't believe that menopause and post-menopause we are estrogen deficient. I think it's a way of driving certain behaviours, shall we say, and there are certainly circumstances where it might be useful to medicate and top up your estrogen levels. But for the majority of us who go through normal natural menopause, it's not always necessary. So I hope that helps. I would love to know what your thoughts are on this, so please do comment below. If you would like to find out more about me, I'm Hannah from Physic Health Consulting, and you can find me at www.physichealth.uk.